The Swags Elite team is made up of individuals who have a passion for running. The goal of this team is to run fast and share their love of running with the community. You will see the team participating in local races as well as races nationwide. They look forward to meeting you and cheering you on as you work to achieve your goals. Run happy.
Boston Marathon, it is just the ultimate experience, the emotions, and coming around the corner for the last turn to see the finish line is so iconic. It just really shows everything that I've trained for, but also just the camaraderie of everybody here in the U.S. And after the bombings a few years back, there's just so much emotion and so much collaboration with that community that there's no other race to experience like it.
My favorite race to run would probably have to be the Iroquois Hill Runners Thanksgiving Day run. It's the environment there is just like incredible. There's all sorts of families and friends there, and everyone hangs out afterwards for a long time. The weather's always really nice, and it's just a great environment to get to compete and run together. That's probably got to be my favorite race that I've run.
My favorite race to run would be the Kentucky Derby Festival on Mini or the full marathon. I've done them both, but just growing up here in Louisville, it's just one of our iconic races. It really brings the running community together. Everybody comes out. If they're not running, they're out there cheering you on. It's just a real great race to run.
I would say the 5K. I haven't gotten used to doing a lot of the higher distances yet, but just because it's quick, but it's also a little bit longer, a little bit of a challenge, especially on the track.
Well, my favorite distance race is marathon. So actually it's one of them races that whenever you finish it, you feel like you've conquered the world, and it's not always about running. It's about doing things that you never thought you could do. So, and you know, it's actually the frontier of all sports. So that's how I feel.
My favorite distance was probably, for now, would probably be the cross-country 8K, just because, especially throughout high school running and then college racing, I was never very good at the short distances. So if I were running a mile or an 800, I would get beat pretty badly and just not really enjoy it whatsoever because I don't really have much foot speed on me. But when it came to cross-country in the 8K season, it's just so competitive. You're not worried about time. All you're worrying about is just going out there, having fun, and being competitive, and not really worrying about time whatsoever. So that's why I really enjoy the cross-country races, and especially the 8K.
So my favorite distance to race is probably the half marathon, because it's one of those races where you're kind of on a knife's edge the entire time, being at your threshold pace, and really just one mistake can push you one way or the other. So it's a real mental challenge too once you actually fall off the deep end and you have to try to claw your way back to finish.
Dina Castor, because she is one of the top female distance runners, and just because of the competitiveness that she brings to the sport.
My favorite professional runner probably has to be Eliud Kipchoge. He's the world record holder in the marathon He's just a really amazing, hard-working runner. Just how he puts in all the effort and he gets out there. When it gets tough, he will even smile during racing. He just really gives it all he has.
Eliud Kipchoge is one of my favorite runners amongst others that have done great things, you know. So he has inspired many, and I'm not left out on that. So
For peace of mind in a competitive outfit.
I run for my own self-care. I think it helps me both physically and mentally to get through my week.
It was really my older siblings, so I'm the youngest of 4, and all of them, after they kissed soccer goodbye, started running cross country. And I'm not very good at sports with any other moving objects, so I started in the 5th grade, and I hated it. My practices would be running out into the woods and hiding until practice was over, and then walking back. So yeah, I started in 5th grade, and then went on through high school, didn't run through college, and then after college I was working, and my wife encouraged me to get a hobby because I was miserable. So I picked up running again, and here I am.
What got me into running was more of doing it for social in middle school, and then my high school coach kind of sought me out and told me if I ran cross country, it would better me for basketball, which was my first passion.
So what got me into running was in like the 7th grade. I was trying to get ready for ice hockey season because I grew up playing ice hockey, and decided that cross country would be a good idea to try to get myself ready for the season. And then about 6 years later, I ended up having to quit hockey to pursue running full time and go run collegiately. So that's kind of what got me into it. But what's kept me in it is definitely the community. Because like after college, usually there's a lot of guys that run that kind of drop off a little bit. But for me, I just really enjoyed being in the community where it doesn't matter if you're running in the Olympics or if you're just running your first 5K. Everyone's so supportive, and it's just a fantastic community that I definitely want to stay a part of.
My run happy place is actually here where we are at Seneca Park. It's close to home, but my favorite part about it is that there's always so many people here, so much energy, and people are all out here for different reasons. Parents with their kids, people walking their dogs, people running and training. So the energy just really gets me going, and it's my favorite place to run here in town.
So running for me is really an escape from the rest of the world. I mean, it's so much simpler than work or anything else I do, because what at the end of the day, what you put in is what you get out.
I would say my dad. He's the one that got me into running, and by seeing the example he set, it made me want to push and do the best that I could.
It's funny how that's changed over the years, because it used to be my parents. I mean, they pushed me to do greater things because they believed in me. And they still do, but as I've learned to find my own love for the sport over the years, I think that it's really just the people, a group of people and a collection of moments that inspire me. It's the people who come out here and work hard for their goals every single day, and they're out here at 5:30 in the morning just grinding, getting the work done, going after your goal. And when you see them achieve this goal, it's the most inspiring thing. Whether it's Jenny Simpson winning the World Championships, or it's someone on our team winning a marathon or running their PR, I think those are the most inspiring things.
My biggest influence for running has probably been my high school coach, Lowry Stallings. He got me into running, even though I wasn't a distance runner until I got out of college. But I still talk to him almost every day, and he helps me come up with training ideas and training plans, and just keeps me inspired when I lose my own motivation to keep going sometimes.
My favorite part about being on the team is gotta be the feeling of just being on a team again. I love being that team aspect of running in college and competing together with other people, and that feeling here in the Swagg's Elite team is such a good feeling to have again, and that's probably my favorite part about being on the team.
Just to be a part of a team again. The last time I was really on a running team was high school. So running on your own can get kind of boring, but when we get out there and have the camaraderie of the team, compete together, sometimes there's a wave of bright green Swags jerseys going off the starting line. I think that's really cool, and people recognize us.
I think it's really just the camaraderie and the fellowship. It's hard to train for endurance events, especially when you're doing it by yourself. So when you have a group of people coming together and meeting up, and we all have similar goals, it just makes it that much easier training for a big event like a marathon or a half marathon. Another reason I love being on this team is just representing Swag store in general. I mean, Swags has been such a staple in Louisville for years. I mean, even before I was born. So to be representing a brand that has had such a positive impact on the community, it just means a lot to me, and it's really special.
I think there's two things. One is just feeling like I have a home. The city has a lot of running stores, and it's nice to have one in particular that I can consider home, refer people to. I've gotten to know the people who work there. And then the other part would probably just be the camaraderie of the team. So someone's always training for something. A lot of people are training for the same race this fall, which is exciting. Not that I'm doing that race, but it's exciting just to see everybody in the heat of training. And yeah, it's nice to just see other people out there early in the mornings grinding it out, or getting those long runs in. So it keeps me going.
Our team cares about each other and the running community and are ready to toe the line and race with you this season.